Okay, let's start this deep dive. Thinking about something, well, almost universal, right? That awful sound, the alarm clock.
Ugh, yeah, that moment.
You hit snooze maybe once, maybe three times. You resist getting up, and then boom, your morning feels totally rushed, maybe even chaotic.
That sounds familiar to a lot of people, I bet. And that feeling, that resistance, the sources we're looking at today argue it really sets the tone for, well, everything else.
Exactly. If you're constantly fighting those first few moments, you might actually be setting yourself up for mediocrity. Is that too strong a word?
It's what the material suggests.
Yeah.
Which brings us to the topic. This system called the miracle morning. It's presented as like a revolutionary shortcut to personal development.
And the promise is huge. I mean, the claim is you can transform every part of your life, health, wealth, happiness, the works, all before 8 a.m. Level 10 success, they call it.
It's a really bold claim. I saw one source even called it the most game-changing, paradigm-shifting book since the 4-Hour Work Week.
Wow.
So yeah, if just changing how you wake up can really reshape your whole destiny, we need to figure out how this supposedly works.
Right. Let's unpack it. And we absolutely have to start with the origin story because this wasn't, dreamed up on some relaxing retreat.
Not at all. It was, as the author Hal Elrod says, born out of sheer desperation. He hit rock bottom. Twice. Really hard.
Understanding that is so important, I think. It shows where this comes from. So, rock bottom number one was back in 1999, a truly horrific car crash. He was only 20.
Yeah, just 20. And the details are, well, they're intense. He was hit head on. His car was doing 70. The other driver, a Chevy truck, was doing 80.
And then immediately after that collision, he got hit again by another car doing 70.
Almost unbelievable he survived. The damage was massive. 11 broken bones, permanent brain damage. He was clinically dead for 6 minutes.
6 minutes. Paramedics brought him back. He wakes up from a coma 6 days later, and the doctors are telling him he might never walk again.
You'd think, okay, that's the hardest thing anyone could ever go through.
Yeah.
Surviving that, rebuilding from that.
But here's where the story takes a turn. Fast forward to 2008. He'd recovered physically, built a successful career as a salesman, wrote a book. Things looked good on the surface.
Right. But then the financial crisis hit him hard. Suddenly, he's massively in debt, like $425,000 in debt. He's deeply depressed. And physically, he said he was in the worst shape of his adult life.
And the really crucial insight here, something he reflected on later, was that the depression and the debt felt worse than the car crash.
Which sounds counterintuitive, right. But his reasoning was, during the recovery from the accident, he had support. Doctors, family, people taking care of him.
But with the debt and depression, he felt completely alone in that struggle.
And it was that feeling of isolation, that desperation that actually sparked the whole Miracle Morning idea. He was out for a run, just trying to clear his head, listening to a Jim Rohn audio program.
And he heard that quote, right, the one that became the foundation.
Exactly. Your level of success will rarely exceed your level of personal development because success is something you attract by the person you become. That was the light bulb moment.
So the core idea is, if you want, say, level 10 success, amazing health, great finances, deep happiness, you first need to become a level 10 person in terms of your own development.
Precisely. Success isn't just chased, it's attracted by who you are.
Okay, that makes sense conceptually. But how does waking up early bridge that gap? How does that make you a level 10 person?
It tackles the biggest excuse head on.
Right.
I don't have time. Most people feel swamped. This system carves out dedicated time for personal development first thing in the morning before the world interferes.
Before the chaos of the day hits.
Right. It's non-negotiable time for growth. And the argument is if you don't make that time, your success is almost guaranteed to plateau. You won't become the person capable of achieving more.
That leads us perfectly into this concept of the mediocrity trap, or the 95% reality check. This part was pretty sobering.
It really is. It's based on data from the Social Security Administration.
Yeah.
They tracked 100 people over a 40-year career span.
And the results. Only 1 out of those 100 people ends up wealthy. Just 4 are financially secure.
Which leaves the other 95%. 95 out of 100 people are either still struggling financially in retirement or have to keep working because they can't afford to stop.
95%. That's staggering. It forces you to ask, why? Why do so many people settle for less than what they truly want in life? Less than that level 10 life?
Well, the sources we looked at pinpoint several key reasons, these traps that hold people back.
Okay, let's break those down. What's the first major one? It's about how we view our past.
Yeah, they call it rear view mirror syndrome, RMS for short. It's this subconscious habit of letting your past failures, your past limitations, define what you think is possible for you today.
Like driving while looking only in the rearview mirror.
Exactly. And get this statistic. Apparently, it's something like 95% of our thoughts today are the exact same thoughts we had yesterday.
Wow, so we're just running the same old mental programs.
Pretty much. Stuck in a loop defined by the past. That's RMS.
Okay, what's the second trap? This one's about the small choices we make.
This one's called isolating incidents. It's the mistake of thinking that small, seemingly insignificant choices don't matter in the long run.
Like hitting the snooze button just once, or skipping one workout.
Right. You tell yourself, oh, it's just this one time. It doesn't mean anything. But the book quotes T. Harv Eker here, how you do anything is how you do everything.
Ah. So that small choice isn't isolated at all. It's actually reinforcing an identity. Like, I'm the kind of person who hits snooze, or I'm the kind of person who doesn't follow through.
Precisely. Each small choice shapes who you're becoming.
Okay, trap number 3 is a big one. Lack of purpose.
Yeah. The research suggests most people, if you ask them, can't clearly articulate a compelling life purpose, a why that drives them.
Without that why, it's hard to stay motivated, isn't it?
Absolutely. So the system actually recommends a kind of universal purpose if you don't have your own specific one nailed down yet. Simply commit to become the best version of ourselves.
That provides a direction, at least.
A mission.
A default mission, yeah. Gives you something to aim for every day. Then there's the structure issue. Once we're adults, no more teachers, no more parents making us do things.
We hit trap number 4, lack of accountability. People naturally resist structure and systems, even ones that would help them grow.
So without someone or something holding us accountable, we drift.
We drift. Progress stalls. The solution proposed is really direct. Get an accountability partner, someone you report to, somebody who helps you stay on track.
That external pressure can make a huge difference, especially on days you lack internal motivation.
Definitely. And the last trap is maybe the most uncomfortable one for people to confront.
The mediocre circle of influence.
Oof, yeah. We've all heard the saying, you're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with.
And if those 5 people are constantly complaining, settling, focused on limitations,
They'll pull you down to their level. Misery loves company, as they say. And so does mediocrity. It's comfortable, it's familiar, but it keeps you stuck.
okay, so these 5 traps, RMS, isolating incidents, lack of purpose, lack of accountability, mediocre influence, they create this massive internal resistance.
Which brings us back to the alarm clock. Hitting snooze, the book argues, isn't just about wanting more sleep. It's a defiant statement to the universe that you'd rather stay unconscious than actively engage in creating the life you want.
That's a powerful way to frame it. So we understand the problem, the resistance. How does the Miracle Morning system mechanically overcome that physical urge to stay in bed?
It's all about shifting your physical and mental state deliberately. The system uses this concept called WMOML, your wake-up motivation level.
Right.
When the alarm goes off, you're basically at WMMO1, total sleep inertia, right? Dead asleep. The goal of the immediate wake-up strategy is to get you quickly from WML1 to, say, a WML5 or 6.
And at WML 5 or 6, you're awake, alert, and you have momentum. Discipline isn't such a struggle anymore.
Exactly. You've bypassed the internal debate because you're already in motion. And there are 5 specific, very physical steps to do this.
All right, let's walk through them. Step 1.
Step 1. Set your intentions before bed. This is crucial. Your very first thought upon waking is often your last thought before sleeping. So consciously decide the night before that you will wake up feeling energized, maybe even excited.
You're programming your subconscious, essentially, taking control of that first waking thought.
Precisely. Step 2 is super practical. Move your alarm clock across the room.
Ah, the classic trick.
It works. It forces you to physically get out of bed. That movement itself starts generating energy. Instantly moves you from WML1 to maybe a 2 or 3.
Okay, you're out of bed. What's step 3?
Brush your teeth. Simple, right? But the physical activity, the minty taste, it wakes up your senses. That gets you to maybe WML3 or 4. You're starting to feel functional.
Makes sense. Step 4.
Drink a full glass of water. This one is non-negotiable in the system. Why? Because you wake up dehydrated, and dehydration is a major cause of fatigue.
So rehydrating immediately gives you an energy boost.
A significant one. Gets you towards WML4 or 5. You're fighting fatigue right away.
Okay, almost there. Step 5.
Get dressed or jump in the shower. The goal is an immediate transition. Put on clothes, ideally workout clothes, to signal what's next or take a quick shower. This really locks in the wakefulness.
So these 5 steps, done consistently, mechanically get you over that initial hurdle of just getting up.
Right. They create physical momentum, bypassing that sleepy brain that just wants to hit snooze. And that momentum carries you into the core practices.
The core practices, this is where the real personal development happens, right? This is the life S-A-V-E-R-S acronym.
Exactly, S-A-V-E-R-S. These 6 practices are designed to systematically develop what the book calls the 4 key dimensions of life: physical, intellectual, emotional, and spiritual, or PIES for short.
P-I-E-S. Okay, let's break down the S-A-V-E-R-S. What's the first S?
S is for silence, purposeful silence. The goal here is immediate stress reduction, boosting self-awareness, gaining clarity. Most mornings start with noise and chaos. This flips the script.
And the practices could be things like meditation, prayer, deep breathing, even just sitting quietly with gratitude.
Yes, any of those. Find what works for you. There's a quote in the source material from Matthew Kelly that I liked. You can learn more in an hour of silence than you can in a year from books.
Wow. So carving out even just 5 or 10 minutes of intentional silence can be that powerful.
Apparently so. A key tip:
Hmm.
do it outside of the bedroom. Trying to meditate under the covers is just inviting yourself to fall back asleep.
Good point. Okay, next up. A is for affirmations. Now, some people hear affirmations and think it sounds a bit, well, woo-woo, like wishful thinking.
Yeah, it can get that reputation.
Yeah.
But the way it's framed here is more about active reprogramming. It's about consciously designing the beliefs and the mindset you need for success instead of letting your old programming run the show.
Okay, active reprogramming. How does that work?
Well, think about this statistic mentioned. Something like 80% of women report having self-deprecating thoughts every single day.
That's a huge number.
It is. We're constantly talking to ourselves anyway. Affirmations are about making that inner dialogue intentional, positive, and aligned with your goals. It's about overriding the negative default.
And the author, Hal Elrod, he used this himself after the crash, didn't he, to deal with the brain damage effects?
Yes, that's a powerful example. Doctors told him he had permanent brain damage, and he initially believed he had a horrible memory because of it. But he created an affirmation stating his memory was great and constantly improving.
And by repeating that, he essentially reprogrammed his belief and presumably saw improvements.
That's the claim. He actively refused to accept the limitation. For listeners wanting to create their own, the book suggests 5 steps. Clearly state 1, what you want; 2, why you want it; 3, who you commit to being to get it; 4, what specific actions you commit to doing; and 5, add inspiring quotes to boost it.
Okay, that's much more concrete than just vague positive statements. It links belief to action.
Exactly. What you want, why, who, what actions, plus inspiration.
Got it. Moving on to V. V is for visualization.
Right. This is about creative mental rehearsal. It's the opposite of rearview mirror syndrome. Instead of replaying past failures, you vividly imagine future successes.
Like athletes visualizing the perfect performance.
Precisely. Think Jim Carrey writing himself that $10 million check years before he made it big. Or Tiger Woods mentally playing a perfect round of golf. It's about pre-paving success in your mind.
So for the listener, this could mean visualizing yourself calmly handling a tough meeting, or easily completing your workout, or successfully making those sales calls.
Yes. See yourself performing your day's key activities with confidence and ease. Feel the positive emotions associated with that success. This helps create a pull towards your desired future.
Okay, so we've covered silence, affirmations, visualization. That seems to fit the emotional and spiritual sides of PIES. What about the physical and intellectual?
Good catch. Those come in with the remaining letters. E is for exercise.
Ah, the physical component. Does this mean a full hour workout?
Not necessarily. The key is just to move. Even 5 or 10 minutes of getting your heart rate up, jumping jacks, yoga, a brisk walk, floods your body with oxygen and endorphins.
So it boosts energy, clears brain fog, reinforces that wakefulness.
Absolutely. It's about kickstarting your physical energy for the day.
Yeah.
It really locks in that WUML momentum we talked about earlier.
Makes sense. And the last 2 letters, R and S. Oh wait, S was silence. So E, R.
Right, S-A-V-E-R-S. The R stands for reading, and the final S is for scribing, which means writing or journaling.
Okay, reading. This targets the I for intellectual in PIES.
Exactly, but it's specific. Reading for learning and growth, not just scrolling news feeds or reading fiction. The suggestion is maybe 10 minutes, even just 10 pages of a personal development or skill-building book.
10 pages a day doesn't sound like much, but
It adds up. That's 3,650 pages a year. That's like 15, 20 books focused purely on improving yourself. Imagine the cumulative effect.
that's a powerful point. Okay, and the final piece, S for scribing, journaling. Why is this important first thing in the morning?
It helps you process thoughts, gain clarity, capture ideas. You can write down insights from your reading or silence, reflect on gratitude, plan your day, commit your goals to paper.
So it brings structure to your thoughts and intentions, helps combat that lack of purpose trap, too.
Definitely. Getting thoughts out of your head and onto paper makes them more real, more actionable.
So silence, affirmations, visualization, exercise, reading, scribing, S.A.V.E.R.S. That's the full miracle morning routine.
That's the framework. Done consistently, even for just 6 minutes each, that's a 36-minute routine. Or you could expand it to an hour or more. The point is the daily investment in all four PIES dimensions.
And the central message comes back to that Jim Rohn quote. Success is attracted by the person you become. This routine is the mechanism for becoming that person.
Exactly. It's proactive personal development. And the testimonials mentioned in the sources are pretty compelling people reporting significant jumps in income, weight loss, feeling less stressed, gaining clarity, often within just a couple of months.
Because they're consistently working on themselves, closing the gap between who they are and who they need to be to achieve those level 10 results.
That's the idea.
Yeah.
You develop yourself into the person capable of creating and sustaining that success.
So the final thought for you, the listener, has to be about commitment, right? We heard how the creator of this system overcame near death, brain damage, and crippling debt using this approach.
The evidence suggests his commitment to this process literally changed his reality.
So the question becomes, what seemingly impossible outcome in your life might start to shift if you simply committed to 60 focused, purposeful minutes for yourself before 8 a.m., starting tomorrow?
Because the core message is that your past, your history, your limitations, they don't have to dictate your future if your commitment to growth is strong enough today. The potential is there.
It really just comes down to taking that first step. And maybe that first step is tonight setting that clear intention before you go to sleep. Decide now how you want to wake up tomorrow.
Your miracle morning, as they call it, starts with that decision.